And the person that
person is comparing themselves to is also comparing themselves to another person. That's what I was trying to say.
The smoke is disappearing, exposed our broken feelings. I don't know how we got here, but boy, I'm glad we're still here.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is another motivational vlog because actually, surprisingly, I got a lot of good feedback on my How I Stay Motivated video, which if you're new here, you should go check that out. But I was really surprised because I was like, okay, I'm just gonna, this is something different. I didn't really expect, a lot of people to be like, you should do more videos like that. But apparently people like seeing me sit down on my carpet and just talk. So here's another one of those. Oh my God. So today, as you can tell from the title of this video, it's what 2020 has taught me. And 2020 has been a sucky year at best. Like nothing, honestly, I can't think of anything really good that happened this year. There's been some really good things that's happened, but not a lot. It's been a horrible year. So I sat down and I thought about it and I was like, okay, well, what positives can I take from this year? What can I kind of feel like, okay, what lessons can I learn from this year? What lessons have I learned from this year? So thinking back all the way to January and until now, I'm a completely different person and I've learned a lot throughout that 11-month process. 11-month time period. So because I write everything down, I wrote down a plan of what I'm gonna say, just the different lessons that I've learned. So if you see me look down, then that's what I'm looking at. This is going to be a at least 2-part series. This is part 1, because if I put everything in this video, again, it's gonna be like an hour-long video. So this is part 1 of what 2020 has taught me and the lessons that I've learned from 2020. Okay, all right, so let's keep this positive. The first thing that I've learned from 2020, well, actually, this isn't in any specific order, but take it one day at a time. Okay, no, literally. I mentioned this in my How I Stay Motivated video, and you're gonna hear me refer to that video a lot because there's it's kind of similar, the same kind of vibe, but taking it one day at a time, that's actually that's an actual real thing. That's an actual thing that I try to do on a daily basis, because sometimes it gets really discouraging and you're just like, what am I gonna do? How am I gonna get through this? It's not healthy to live your life based off of your current circumstances. I might be really, really hurt for a season, but I can't be like, I'm never gonna get through this. And me, I'm always like,
oh my gosh, what if I don't ever get through this?
And it's just really rejuvenating and healthy to just take it one day at a time and just realize that everything is gonna be okay. Maybe not today and maybe not tomorrow, but just take it day by day, and I promise it'll all work out. And with me, because with me it worked out, and trust me, I've had my heart broken and I thought, oh my gosh, this is the end, what am I gonna do? But taking it one day at a time, oh my gosh, it's so encouraging and motivating. It's yes, I can do this. We can do this. Okay, sorry, I'm getting hyped. The next thing that 2020 has taught me is that comparing myself to others is a never-ending cycle. Honestly, it's an unhealthy, never-ending cycle. So, and I know that I'm not the only person who does this, but who will compare themselves to someone, and that person is comparing themselves to someone, and the person that person is and the person that is And the person that person is comparing themselves to is also comparing themselves to another person. That's what I was trying to say. It's a never-ending cycle, and everyone is different in their own way. So comparing yourself to someone, it's not healthy. I've compared myself to so many people, and I'm just like it brings you down, and it's not healthy to compare yourself. And what I've learned throughout this year is that everyone is different, and no one is perfect. So I can't compare myself to someone else, because I have my own qualities and my own things that I should admire and work on myself. Another thing that 2020 has taught me is that sometimes it's best to completely isolate and distance yourself from everything, whether that's social media, people, and like I talked about in my How I Stay Motivated video, I'm the kind of person who doesn't like being alone. So it's hard for me to like isolate myself, but finally, especially the month of November, I've been just kind of focusing on myself, not like shutting my friends out, but just I'm really like focusing on myself. And it's not that I'm like trying to ignore anyone or trying to be rude or nasty. It's just I need to like clear my mental space. I need some clarity. So distancing myself has actually helped me to just figure myself out and sort out my feelings and just all of that. It's helpful, it's healthy, despite what people think. Another thing 2020 has taught me is that I need to stop, take a deep breath, and be still and know that I'm okay. Sometimes just things happen so fast, and I'm an emotional person, so like that, I'll get emotional or I'll get angry, and it's like I need to like take a deep breath, inhale, exhale, and just realize that I'm okay. Everything is gonna be okay. I'm young. Things are gonna happen, and it's I shouldn't freak out about stuff. Like I shouldn't get so like worked up over stuff, because things are gonna sort itself out. I shouldn't like be like crazy over stuff. So everything, take a deep breath and just realize that everything is gonna be okay. Oh my gosh, that just makes everything less stressful. Being kind to others does not make you soft. Okay, I feel like I'm about to preach to some people. No, what I had to learn about myself was that I'm a really kind person, and sometimes my niceness is taken for granted. But at the end of the day, I'm always kind, and I'm always gonna be kind. Even if I tell myself no, I'm gonna turn into the baddest, most evil, rude person ever. I can't do that at all. That's like not in my biological code. So because I'm kind to people, because I'm willing to give my last like water if someone needs it more than I do, that doesn't make me soft. It doesn't make me like less of a strong-willed person because I'm willing to give up my last thing. Like, I mean, as you guys know, I'm a Christian, and God gave up his last thing for us. Like, so, okay, I put it in a weird way, but God gives up things for us all the time. So why can't I give up my little earthly thing? Like, honestly, it's being kind, just showing kindness to people. It doesn't make you soft, as people say. It actually makes you a stronger person if you're able to be kind to someone who is rude to you or who doesn't like you. So that's what I've learned, that being kind and just being a genuinely nice person, being nice and friendly. And I'm not perfect. I am not perfect. So there's still some times where I blow up, and because I'm not perfect. So I'll blow up, I'll get an attitude, but at the end of the day, I just have to remember that being kind is always, I know it sounds corny, but being kind is the best policy. Being kind is nice. I don't know, but just it pays to be kind, honestly, and that's going to be reciprocated back to you, because what goes around comes around. So for those people who are like, oh, if you're kind, if you're nice, you're soft, well, guess what? If you're mean and rude and nasty to people, all that's going to come back to you. So something else that I've learned is that, and especially this year, in the still and quiet moments, that's when God is loudest. So I talked about in my How I Stay Motivated video how I pray, and I've been, trying to do that more, because I haven't really been this year, if we're gonna be honest. Like, I'm a Christian, but this year I haven't really been doing what I've been supposed to do. So, I've been trying to pray more and get into my Bible more and just, change my mindset. But like, what I realized is that when I'm by myself, I close the door, I just close my eyes, it's just a moment by myself and it's quiet. I realize that that's when I'm able to feel God speak to me, or it's not like audible, obviously, but I'm able to feel, Him like leading and guiding me if I'm asking certain questions. I feel, peace about situations and things like that. Not necessarily answers, but if it is like answers, it's not in like the way that I would think, it's like through like little signs, like, or a feeling like peace. And the only way I'm able to get that feeling is when I'm in those still and quiet moments. And also, another side note, when I pray, I ask for peace and understanding, because happiness is, and I talked about that. Happiness comes from within. But like, I want peace more, because happiness it's a great feeling, but it's temporary. Like, you can be happy but not at peace. And I feel like when you ask for peace and understanding, you're saying, okay, even if I don't agree with the situation, or, oh my God, excuse me, or if I don't know where my life is going, I have peace about it. And I don't have to be happy about it, but I'm at peace, with where I am. So that's, oh my God, I had to learn that throughout this year, because certain situations didn't go my way. And I had to, after the emotions kind of subsided, and after, the tears had been cried, and after, all that happened, I had to be like, okay, I'm at a place of acceptance, and I want peace more than anything. I want to feel peace and understanding, and I want to feel okay with where I am and not have to worry about the future. So that's something that I'm still working on, because I don't have patience at all. So it's like, I want to know, like, now, like, what are you planning now? Like, tell me. But in those still and quiet moments, I get those feelings of peace, and I don't have to worry about the future as much. I learned that I shouldn't be afraid to speak up this year. So I've always been like
the kind of like, let me not say my opinions because I don't want to offend anybody.
But no, and I'm glad I started this channel, because I feel like I have the freedom to say, whatever I want, if we're being quite honest. But this year I had to learn, like, not to be afraid to speak up. Even if it's something as small as I go to a restaurant and I ask for something and then they don't give it to me. Or I'm kind of just like, oh, well, okay, maybe, I'm not gonna get it, But it's like, I remember I went to a restaurant and I asked for a lemon with my water, and they brought out the water, but they forgot the lemon. And so I was just like, oh, okay, I wasn't gonna say anything. But then the person I was with was like, oh, no, can you bring out like a dish with lemon? I was just like, wow, that was just like, I just admired that a lot, because they weren't afraid to speak up. So I've been trying to be more like forthcoming with what I'm feeling and my opinions, and just, you know, not being afraid to speak up and say what I need, say what I feel. And it might offend some people. I mean, let's be honest, it might offend some people, but who cares? Not everyone's gonna be, you know, not everyone is gonna be happy with what you have to say. Okay, I'm sorry. Like, I don't know, what do you expect me to do? Like, not say what I feel? Get out of here. Like, what do you mean you don't like what I said? Okay, I'm sorry. No, don't even say sorry. No. Something else that I've learned is that every loss is a lesson. And I've had a lot of losses this 2020, a lot of losses, and it really brought me down, the losses. And I had to realize, you know, this is, okay, why did I go through this? I had to be taught something, right? So what did I get from this? And what am I not gonna do so that the next situation isn't a loss? You know, having learned that, I realized that every loss is a lesson, and I can learn from the losing. Okay, so I'm gonna give 2 more points, and then I'm going to wrap this video up because there's going to be a part 2. But another thing that I've learned this year is that resentment and holding grudges only hurts yourself, not the offender. So I'll give you an example. I had a situation where a few months back, someone really hurt me. And, you know, to this day, I mean, I don't resent that person, and I'm not angry towards them. But a person can forgive but not forget. But at the same time, they don't have to be resentful and hold anger or hold grudges. I mean, not hold anger, but you know, hold grudges, because at the end of the day, I mean, that's only hurting yourself. So towards anyone, I'm grateful to say that I don't hold any grudges. I'm not angry with anyone, because that doesn't do anything for me. That, you know, it doesn't help me to be angry and resentful towards people. So, you know, I pushed that aside, and I just, oh my God, what did I do? Why am I so serious? No, I push that aside, and I don't forget, but, you know, I forget, because at the end of the day, no one's perfect. And honestly, who am I to judge someone? And things happen for a reason. So you can start out angry, but at the same time, don't finish like that, you know? Just don't hold that in your heart, because, you know, this is what I had to learn, like that only hurts you. You're carrying this extra baggage that you don't have to carry. And who wants to carry extra baggage? It's heavy, you know? So that only hurts me if I do that. It doesn't hurt them. They're not, you know, it doesn't hurt them. It only hurts me. It only hurts you if you're holding grudges and you're being resentful towards people. It's not. I know it's easier said than done. Trust me, I'm not perfect. I don't even go by this every day, but I have to remind myself that doesn't do anything for me, okay? Forgiving doesn't even do anything for the other person. It's all about you. You can forgive that person, but not, you know, forget the situation. And honestly, it's better to forgive, to alleviate the stress, and, you know, and let go of the weight of resentment and things like that, and grudges. The last point for part 1 of this video is never change who you are for anyone. And this is what I had to learn. I'm aggravating, I'm stupid, sometimes I can be stupid, sometimes I can be slow, sometimes I can be needy, sometimes I can be annoying, those are some qualities that I had to come to terms with and be like, not be like, okay, I hate this about myself, but embrace it. Like, okay, yes, I am this, I am that. I am aggravating. Yes, I can be needy, but I'm not changing that. And if, like, you know, talking to people, like, if you're the kind of person who can't handle that, oh well. Like, I'm not changing myself for anyone. And I had to learn that. You can't be in situations where, like, someone is telling you to change, and you know, that's not healthy. Don't ever change yourself. Even if you feel like, even if they're telling you, you know, that they don't like that quality or it's a bad quality, it's, you know, that's who you are. And like, for me, like, I don't try to be purposefully aggravating. It's just like a part of my personality. Like, I am aggravating. I know there's some parts of my personality I can tone down, like being needy. I know I don't have to always, you know, like in relationships, I don't always have to talk to a person like 24/7. And that's something with like being by myself, I'm learning, like, okay, you know, girl, do other things. Like, you don't have to do all that all the time, you know, just chill for a little bit. But at the end of the day, certain aspects of my personality are me. Like, yes, I am aggravating. Yes, I am like super affectionate. And it's like, I'm not changing that for anyone, like, at all. And it's gonna come to a point where, like, if you don't like that, then oh well, like, there's nothing I can do. And for you guys out there, if you're watching this and there's like qualities of yourself that you don't like, or you're trying to change for someone because they're either telling you to change or you think they're gonna like you better, like, no, don't do that. Be yourself, be you. And if they don't like that, then they can go do something else. But at the end of the day, you shouldn't change yourself for anyone. Or even if it's just because you think that that person will like you better or you'll have more friends. No, don't change yourself. I'm learning about that too this year. Not changing myself for anyone because I'm me. And there's only one Micaiah. Like, I don't care what you say. You try to turn me down, there's only one Micaiah. There's only one you out there. And you're the only one who can do you. Like, you can be the best version of you. No one else can do you like how you can do you. Woo! So, don't change yourself for anyone. Don't do that. Be yourself. If you're loud, be loud. If you're crazy, be crazy. If you're nerdy, be nerdy. If you're aggravating, be aggravating. But not too aggravating. You know, just be your freaking self. Don't change, okay? Don't change. Yeah. These are good. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. This is part 1 of the little series I'm doing. Wow. I'm making it sound bigger than it is. It's just, I honestly just split it in half because I couldn't say everything in one video. But it's a series to make it sound fancy or whatever. Subscribe if you haven't already. Subscribe to my channel to see more of my stupidity and my weirdness. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you guys again for part 2.
Everyone's lining up to see her. There must be something about her features. You'll find her beauty goes much deeper once you get to meet her. She's a Mona Lisa.